Copper pipe pinholed like that. But it's on the elbow.
Just spraying?
Yeah, it's unbelievable that, isn't it?
Huh. There's no discharge running.
Is it not?
It's dripping.
It's the discharge dripping as well.
It's a hot one.
Vessel's full. What do you reckon's caused that? Do you reckon that's flux? All I'm going to do, probably press a socket there, or cut that one back. It's funny, it's the only soldered socket on it, isn't it? Everything else is press fit. It's easy enough to fix, and then the cylinder's running as well on the discharge. So we'll have a look. This PRV is passing as well, because we've got hot water coming out there. So I've got one of them in the van, and we're going to pump this vessel. It may need changing if it hasn't been done since 2016. But we'll get the leak fixed, and I can always go and get one of them in a minute. So that was a nice easy fix, just a new nut and olive, and one press elbow and one press socket. And as I say, we'll whip this one out. What is it, a 7-bar 90 degree. That connection there is leaking as well. We haven't even touched that. Unbelievable that, isn't it? Let's see if that'll tighten up. Good job I spotted that before I left. It's not dripping on the tundish anymore, because we've recharged the vessel and changed that, but yeah, can't believe that. The olive's not even in the pipe, look. It's past the end of the pipe, that's why that's leaking. We haven't even touched that. Can't believe it, can you? We'll get that olive off. Can I just undo it with my fingers, I think. It's on a speed fit fitting, it must be as well. I can't quite get it off with my fingers, but that's why you check everything. That's alright, I'll do it one-handed. That's why you check everything on jobs. That's unbelievable, because we were done. The pipe's eating away, mate. What the hell's caused that? Look, the pipe's gone on the end. It's probably because they've over tightened it, isn't it? Somebody's nipped it up that much.
Who put that valve back there?
I don't know who's done that, mate.
Can't get to it.
That's unreal.
Who put it anyway?
Yeah, should have put it above the arc of the cylinder. I'll have to. That pipe will probably move over enough. We'll just have to cut that end piece off.
Speed fit, is it?
Yeah, speed fit in the floor must be. Either that or another fitting's turning. And we'll put a new nut and olive on it. There's no British standard on the pipe, is there? You shouldn't be able to move that like that. It's thin copper. Feel the weight of it. It's not.
Yeah, there's nothing
Not as heavy as our pipe, is it? It's only 6 years old. I've had to use a compression down there because I couldn't get to it very easily, but it should be alright. It won't leak. This isn't. You could get a copper called YTW, which was Yorkshire thin wall, which had a red band, but this won't be YTW, not at this age. It's just real thin pipe. I don't know if somebody's been eating into it, but to get 2 pinholes like that, or 2 leaks, maybe that was just incorrect installation with the olive. I don't know, that's just mega unlucky. I'm pleased we spotted it before we left, because that would have been water through the ceiling again. There's just nothing left of it. Unreal that. Right, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're all doing well. I know it's a funny place to put an intro after the first job, but I wasn't going to include that because I didn't get much footage, but I thought it was interesting enough, and I thought I'd ask you what you thought caused that. I mean, looking back at the footage, it looked like somebody had pressed the bit at the back of the top of the cylinder as well, so whether that had been repaired at some point. I don't know if it was caused by flux. I mean, the pipe was very, very thin, and the only other thing on that, it was all plastic secondary return speed fit, so I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. Obviously you shouldn't use plastic on the secondary because it can draw air and it can cause all sorts of different issues. I did actually go to one the other Sunday where it was plastic secondary return in it. They'd put a brass double check valve in, just like standard 15mm, and it had split down the brass double check valve, so I don't know if that was caused by the plastic being on the secondary return or not, but it's very rare you see brass fittings split like that, and obviously pinholes in the copper pipe, so I don't know if it was just flux, bad fitting, or whatever. But yeah, an interesting one, so I thought I'd include that at the start of the video. Today's episode we have got a radiator where I have to go and second fix them. We just got a split toilet cistern as well, so yeah, just just jobbing around really, doing some bits. I've got some interesting jobs I want to include in the next couple of weeks, but I just need time to edit it and catch up and everything. So yeah, thank you for watching. We'll crack straight back on with the episode. We've just called back on this little job just to get our radiator second fixed. We came and first fixed it a few weeks ago now. Obviously it's all been plastered, flooring's all down, so yeah, it should be a nice little easy one this, if we've got our pipes in the right place. I don't know whether to, I might just switch the cold feed off this. I could go up in the roof and bung it, but it means going up in the roof, so I might just switch the cold feed off and we'll snatch it across. I've got some 10 to 15 reducers to go in there, so I'll pop on there quite easily, and I've put in a lock shield drain off EBH one in. I do like these cartel ones. The good thing about these ones is you never get them damaged. The brackets are always well packed as well, so I've never had one missing the brackets. I'll tell you this story quickly because I'm annoyed about this one. Well, not annoyed. I've basically priced this commercial job up a while ago now, and I've just been passed. I know I'd lost the job. It wasn't by much. I think it was a 30 grand job. It was quite a big job. I know I lost it by about 700 quid, I think, roughly, which is fair enough. I'm never bothered if I lose work. You can't win every job. And I've just been passed, and the people who are doing it aren't even commercially registered. So I've lost out on my job. I think I was second at the 3, and the people who are doing it, they've got commercial gas on the van. I've just checked on the website on Gas Safe, and they're not even got the commercial. So it is annoying when you lose stuff like that, because obviously I carry all my qualifications. I've got to do my commercial gas again in, well, it runs out in October. I've got my domestic gas end of this month, end of July, and then I've got my commercial in October. But it is annoying, you go through all the qualifications, you have it all. I've got radiant tube heaters, I've got the lot. Not that I ever really work on them, but the odd time you might need it. And then you go past the job where you've priced, you lost by 700 quid, and somebody's working on it who's not even qualified to work on the installation. It was the old boiler was 180 kilowatt, I think. I can't quite remember, 170, 180 quid. I mean, the gas feed was 2.5 inch, so it puts it in commercial straight away. Even if you could argue you put in 260 kilowatt boilers back in, it's still commercial, whichever way you look at it. And you go past and people put commercial gas on the van, it looks really snazzy and stuff like that, but it's just not right. So yeah, I don't know, it is annoying when stuff like that happens. I say I'm not annoyed about losing the job. You cannot win every job, but the reason me and the other guy who's priced it is more expensive, I don't know who the other contractor was, you just get to see the list at the end, is because we're qualified. You know, we carry the insurances and stuff like that, and yet you get somebody doing domestic gas who thinks they can do commercial, and then you lose a job. But it is what it is. As I say, you'll never be able to compete with people who aren't qualified, because you're going to be more expensive, because you go through the courses, you go through the training and stuff like that. And yeah, it is very annoying. Anyway, that's my rant over. I need to shut up and do some work. But you know, you guys all know where I'm coming from. Yeah, it is annoying. And so it may well be that they're going to get somebody in to sign off the work, but I always think you're getting into like grey areas then. Really, if you're on the job, like I would never leave Jacob or any of my apprentices on a job without me being on site on gas work. And so, there, like people are okay, small town. You have to do much against the jobs we pricing. And they fail to provide good value now. But yeah, it's annoying. So this valve will sit into the radiator like that, so we need to work out from the centre of the pipe to the bottom of the bracket. So the centre of that to that is 45 mil. So on K-rads, you want to be 70 mil up. Let's just work. So you want to be 70 mil up from the centre of the valve. It's one measurement you always remember, depending on what sort of radiator you think. So all things being right, that should be the bottom and the centre of our bracket. So everybody works like radiators out a different way, but my way's a little bit backwards, but it works for me. Well, generally, we'll soon find out when we drop the rad on. We'll just get this bracket on the wall. The other thing we can screws. It's only washed out. Every time I screw it, I rush. Things here just stop the radiator from squeaking when they heat up. They just push on your bracket, and it tightens up on the bracket as well, otherwise your radiator like moves as well, because the lugs are quite loose. So pop them on. Just drop the rad on. All things being equal, that should be right. That should be bang on level. Sort of like going back to that point about like being qualified and stuff like that. Obviously my insurance is more expensive because I do commercial gas. So it's sort of one of them things, you put the investment in to get yourself qualified. So you say if you're insured, you've passed the test, and then you lose a job to somebody who isn't qualified, and it is you're never ever going to compete with it. And I know it probably sounds like sour grapes and all that. I don't really care. I've got too much work on it. Probably couldn't have done the job for weeks anyway. But yeah, it is annoying, and then when it all goes wrong, we'll be back putting it right. It's cost the customer twice. Because that's the way it always happens. It's the customer that loses out, not me. And I could never do it. I don't know. I'm way too honest. They're smooth jaw, by the way, so I won't scratch that. I'm just way too honest when it comes to stuff like that. I could never do. I don't know. I couldn't sleep at night if I. Yeah, it's just me, days. I just couldn't sleep if I knew I wasn't qualified to work on something, or you know, because something's going to go wrong, or yeah, I don't know. We are going to go up in the roof and cap the vent. Not feeling brave enough just to snatch it. So we'll isolate the power to the heating system. We just need to cut these off there. We've got 2 speed fit inserts, and they'll just push straight in there and connect the valves up, and that's pretty much going to be job done. It's a nice easy one, but nothing's ever too stressful, is it? So this is the heating header tank. This is the one we need to block the vent and cold feed off. What this will do is it will create a vacuum. It will create a vacuum, so when we take the caps off, we'll only get a little glug of water. We need to make sure all the AVs are shut and my torch doesn't fall in the water. And then if no air can get in, no water can get out, if that makes sense. I just need 2 hands to do that one, because I can't quite get my bung on. Make sure they're pushed well in, and we'll be good to take the caps off. What we'll do on this side is we'll take the cap end off before we cut the pipe. The other end's what we call a thumbnail. It looks good on the video, it didn't do any damage. It's just got a bit more water than I thought I was going to get. What is it down here? As soon as the vacuum takes, it should stop. Hopefully no more than a plum tub. Yeah, I think I can. Oh, it stopped down it. That's fine. Put your insert in. Make sure that pushes on all the way. Have a good dry up in here and get the cold feeding vent switch back on. It's not done any damage, like once we're in it. Just marking the territory. Right, so people know where I've been. It's a bit of bled through. What we'll do is we'll check the rest of the system, make sure we haven't knocked anything out of balance. That one should be this job done. I know that looked dramatic over that side, but it's just a bit of water on the floor. It will soon dry up today. On this side as well. It's what us YouTubers call a good thumbnail, that, when you got water flying everywhere. It was completely under control though, trust me. Not that I'm really a YouTuber, I'm just well, I don't know what I am really, I just film the odd job. You get the good, the bad and the ugly on my channel though. Right, this job I've just got a toilet cistern to change. It's split, so they've asked it just to be replaced. What I'll have to do is turn the water off, get an isolation point on here, and I've just I've actually brought one with me, a Dudley side entry. So water turns off under there by the looks of it, and we'll get it swapped out. I think it should nearly be a straight swap. Obviously we've changed the flush pipe cone and everything. We won't need that overflow, and yeah, we'll get it sorted. No chance. No, you ain't turning that. I'll see if I can turn it off outside. Yeah, I got it off outside, so I'll just cut a valve in there. Ready. It's all about getting control of the job straight away. Get a valve on, get the water back on. Be in control, or we try to be. I just put my towel down on the toilet seat so we don't scratch over. We'll get that line back up, centralised, and get the new one on the wall. I don't think it'll quite cover there. I think that's about central, isn't it? Just going to show a little bit on the side, but what can you do? Everything normally lines back up with these Dudley cisterns. Just make sure it's levelish. Drill 2 new holes, new flush pipe in, and get the job done. As level as you can. She's brass screws with a plastic tip. Right, these siphons, you've got a washer, goes on the inside of the cistern. I always, this is controversial, but on these plastic ones, and if you don't do this, 9 times out of 10 they'll leak. Pop a little bead of silicone around. I know most plumbers are going to hate on me for that, but trust me. You don't that'll leak 100%. It's just the plastic cisterns, you're over tight them. Just a little nipple. Oops. Don't need to go mental. I'll just try it with the old flush pipe for length. Yeah. The old flush pipe fits, so I'm going to cut the new one. Exactly the same. It did actually track a little bit there. I don't think I quite had it on properly, but it's still square enough for a flush pipe. Get my monkey hands off it. You want your nut and your ring. A new flush pipe cone. These aren't the best, but they'll be alright. And then these just want to be hand tight only. Something like that. We've just got the inlet to do now. We probably will have to put a new bit of pipe up, and the handle and the overflow we don't actually need, but I might connect it back in just to do away with the hole. Normally these cold feeds do line back up. Obviously we'll change the washer on there. Let's get the ball valve in. Yeah, I think that'll line up. So there's no need to put a new bit of pipe. Get rid of my mucky hands as I've done on the flush pipe. Get the ball valve in, I think it'll line up. And then we just got the handle to do, which is easy enough, and then just have a look at the overflow. I think the only thing with these ball valves is you're supposed to have the handle on the opposite side. It means that, yeah, basically the float's going to hit the siphon. What I normally do with these is put a tour back in. It's either that I've got to spin that around and have the handle on the left, which I don't really know. What was it before? I suppose it was handle on the left before. Yeah, normally you'd have your handle on the right, but yeah, I'll just do it how it was before. I'll spin that siphon round, have the float will have to go in there, and the handle will have to go on the left. It's how it was. That's how it'll have to go. To adjust them, you just turn that, and if you're on low pressure, you fit that red low pressure orifice inside the ball valve. So these are just a standard part 2. Nothing fancy. Prone to water hammer on the washer. Handle will have to go just down there as it was before. Just be so careful not to cross them on the plastic. Got to be so careful not to cross thread the plastic thread. This strip's so easy. Always doing finger tight first, and then just nip them. Can't even tell where I've been. Ish. One thing I would say with them is just try and keep that in line with your siphon. Then we just got the screw to pop in there, and then that's it. It's just a little stainless flathead. Well, I don't know if it's stainless, but should be really. Probably not. Tighten that up. Just the bunks to do. Yeah, we'll get filled up. Lovely. Did I send you an overflow? Yeah, I do. Push test it. And then we'll overflow it. You should be good. Right, just overflow it. Make sure it goes down the pan. Should do. There you go, look. Nice and good. Check all your connections.